Our next eminent speaker is Dr. Bikramjit Singh Hundal. He is a professor at University Business School, Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar. Professor Hundal has more than 35 years of experience in teaching and research. He has attended more than 80 seminars and conferences at national and international level. Dr. Hundal has published many books and research papers. He is a panel member of NAC team. Professor Hundal is also a member of editorial team. He is also alumni in charge of University Business School, Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar, and member of many more panels. Now I invite Sir to share his views on today's topic.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, sir.
Uh, we have listened to Dr. Cortes and Dr. Grover, very learned speakers, and especially they are from the education field. Uh, and of course, we are all in education, but they are basically in the subject of education, and my subject is management, and I teach marketing. So uh, they have given all the facts and all the technical parameters which will affect the education system, especially technology and software and internet and companies coming into the picture. Uh, but my focus will be more on journal management of education. Okay. First of all, I thank Principal Madam of Anand College and the college itself for organizing and inviting me to be the guest speaker or the resource person. Uh, and in the brochure of this seminar, I saw one line that this Anand College was founded on the birthday of our respected Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, and that is a very that heartened me. That gave me a very positive feeling that this college was opened on the birthday of Dr. Radhakrishnan, who was our president. And the more interesting thing is that he was a teacher who became president of India. So it is very apt to open a college on the birthday of a teacher who later rose to be the vice chancellor of a university. He taught in the university and then he became the president of a country, our country. Uh, One thing, another which is coming to my mind is that he wrote one book of a very small, brief book on the name of the book was The Hindu. And in that, I will not go into details. He said that Hinduism is a philosophy of way of life, a philosophy and a way of life. And that book was banned in Saudi Arabia uh, because they feared that this book will influence the people of their country and other Muslim countries, Islamic countries. First of all, I will touch upon this thing that the education which we are imparting in colleges, in universities, in schools, uh, that is, I won't say it is our duty or something like that, or we should be thinking in terms of survival or profits, because whenever we register our any school or any college or any institution, maybe it's a engineering college or a management college or a B.Ed college or any college, we register it under the Societies Act. And in the Societies Act, we know when we make a society that it is a no profit, no loss society. And then when these things are happening, COVID is there, people are talking about surplus and profits. That should not be there because you cannot take the surplus out. It has to be carried over to the next year. And but we know that how the things are in, especially I know because Punjab Technical University people send me to different colleges for inspections, and I always ask them that show me the salary details or the Aadhaar card numbers or this that for so that teachers are paid what they are saying that we are paying them. And if they're paying less, we always put a condition that you should pay according to university norms. But then again, things happen in majority of the cases, not in all cases, that teachers are paid less, which should not be the case because if, say, you look around at any college, you look around all the colleges in Amritsar or anywhere, these private institutions which have come up in a big way, they have a number of acres of land and they have a number of rooms and halls and everything, and the investment is huge. After putting so much of investment, why they have put it? I don't know, because they were to put that investment under the Societies Act where profit is not to be. So this is basically a philanthropic, moral, or whatever you call it, duty of the some groups of people to give education and come into the education sector. Now, they don't take the money out as such, but they buy expensive cars, they buy expensive things in the names of colleges, and they pay the teachers less. Now, here they are like, Punjabi ਚ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੈਰ ਤੇ ਆਪੇ ਕੁਹਾੜੀ ਮਾਰਨ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, because if you are not paying well to the teachers, ultimately the institution will not going to make any reputation. And the pay of the teachers, if you calculate it, is the percentage of the cost of pay to the teachers is very less as compared to the investments in infrastructure and other things. But there they invest because they think that this is our property, and they do not invest in teachers in terms of sending them to seminars or in terms of pay and in terms of retaining them. They're paying them less and retaining them less.
Doctor, you have muted yourself. Kindly unmute.
Hello?
Yeah, it's okay, doctor.
Uh, should I start from the beginning?
No, sir, it's audible earlier.
Okay. So it is basically the institutions should invest in teachers. They should be paid more. Only then the teacher will be motivated to not leave the institution. Turnover will be less, and that teacher will be committed to the institution, and that commitment will lead to a reputation in the long run, and the institution will thrive, not only survive. Well, this is one thing. Now, this COVID has is related to the word disruption. Disruption has always happened during wars. The disruption happens in the First World War. Disruption happened in Second World War. The disruptions happened. The British and the Europe. After this disruption, USA rose. USA, the economy of the USA became number one economy. In the industry of USA exploded, and the income levels of the United States exploded, and these countries, they were disrupted. Similarly, in technology, there are disruptions like mobile phone is the smartphone. Mobile phone is the biggest disruption. It has disrupted the camera industry. It has disrupted many other industries, even scanners, everything. The demand is less. So now another disruption which is going to happen and is happening is the electric engines, which batteries, if cheaper batteries come, this diesel engines, petrol engines, they will be, the demand is going to be less in the coming years, and they will be history after some time. Similarly, COVID has disrupted our education system, and it has really disrupted. And we are not, the students are not going physically to the colleges, and this disruption, there are always good points, and there is a what we call silver lining also, that we have started using technology. Frankly, I never used these platforms earlier, although they were there, like we had mock massively open online courses in my university, but I never really thought about using these things. But now we are doing seminars. Okay, we are doing board of control meetings in other in our department, also in other universities, also board of studies meetings, PhD vivas. Earlier, I went to Jammu to take that viva, and now I'm taking it online. So implications are many. Like you don't have to drive on the road. Pollution is less. You physically also, it's good that you don't drive. Otherwise, sometimes you enjoy driving. That is another point. Now, this newest development, this MOOC was the newest development, and it happened in mid 1990s because of the World Wide Web and internet. Now, we'll come to the MOOC later, but I'll just give you a brief history of how we started and how we are here. Now, first of all, we had this system, as Dr. Grover was saying, that the best system is the classroom teaching. I would say more that even more than classroom teaching, it is the Guru Shishya, ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿ ਦਈਏ ਕਿ ਲਾਗੇ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਪੜਾਉਣਾ, that is the best. Second is classroom with blackboard, and after that I can say smart classroom. Blackboard I think is better than the smart classroom to solve, to make understand people some things. But no doubt these things are used and they facilitate teaching. कोई problem नहीं है. Then from smart rooms, the next step, which is what we are doing now. Now this, what we are doing. So this is also a way of imparting teaching. Smart classrooms is also a way of imparting teaching. Blackboard is also a way of imparting teaching. Classrooms, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਘਰ ਚ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਪੜਾਉਣਾ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਟੀਚਿੰਗ ਹੈ. ਬਟ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੁੱਡ ਪੁਆਇੰਟਸ ਐਂਡ ਬੈਡ ਪੁਆਇੰਟਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ. ਬੈਡ ਪੁਆਇੰਟਸ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ, ਗੁੱਡ ਪੁਆਇੰਟਸ ਆ. ਬਟ ਲੈਵਲ, ਬੈਸਟ ਲੈਵਲ which is Guru Shishya ਲਾਗੇ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ, and of course online teaching cannot replace classroom teaching, but as it is a time where disruption is happening, so it is, ਕਹਿ ਲਈਏ ਕੁਛ, something is better than nothing. But it is going to be, it will evolve into a better system, as Dr. Grover was saying. We can check the screen time of the students, as we check in the class time how much they are looking at you and how much they are understanding you. Here the computer will record it, so that will be a better thing. If there are more than 50 students, you cannot check all the students. So that those some other things which will come up because of the technology. Now, if you go into the history of where we are now, see, basic point is classroom teaching. And after classroom teaching, the first correspondence courses were started in 1800s. And this was by using parcel post. Parcel post was used in 1800s. Then in 1900s, radio waves were used to give some sort of a teaching to some people. Then in 1919, University of Wisconsin, the professors there started the first licensed amateur radio station for educational broadcasting. And 1990 to about 1930s, which University of Iowa started a TV channel for educational broadcasting. 50s, which the frequencies in USA were reserved for education. Some frequencies of TV, they were. And in 67, Corporation for Public Broadcasting, that is CPB, was established to encourage growth and development. And this corporation was solely for the purpose of educational, cultural purposes. Then 1982, Western Behavioral Institute, California, they started distance educational programs in 1982 through computer conferencing to business executives. Then in 1989, University of Phoenix, they also started educational programs through the internet. Then coming to 1993, because of the debut of first internet web browser, University of Illinois started using it. Then in 1998, this was a landmark thing. University of New York, California Virtual University was established, Trident University was established, and Western Governors University was established, which provided these universities provided fully online programs. Now, again, coming back to the word disruption. When we say disruption, there is another thing I want to add, that there is one, you all know, you are all younger than me and you are more into technology. You know more in technology, and people who are less than your age, maybe 10 years younger, they know even more than you. So blockchains are coming. Blockchain hai ya badi purani, everybody knows this word. Blockchain, they say that I've read an article that this blockchain will disrupt the banking sector. The banks as such we are having, they will not be there when blockchains are used. So people will do transactions on blockchains only, and there will be only one server which will take care of all needs, all things which banks are doing. So banks are also going to get disrupted in the coming years. Similarly, I fear and I hope that education system is not as at the present stage it is like we are doing physical teaching. It is not disrupted, and the disruption has actually started. uh, People, more and more people are going to join virtual classes, online classes. Foreign universities, Canadian universities, Australian universities, they are giving online classes, and they will give online classes in India. And students, whenever they will call them once in a year for 10 days, 15 days to their university. And this is another challenge to the institutions everywhere, not in India, everywhere. In 2000 year, only 8% students were using online courses in some way. Not the full course, some way, one or two courses, 8% worldwide. In 2008, 20% students were using these online courses, and in 2013, 30% were using online these type of courses. And you can imagine now in 220, I don't have the exact data, but 2013 से 30 है, how many people are using these online courses? We are doing, all of us, we are doing online 100% seminars, we are doing 100% Viva online, we are doing 100% meetings online, and similarly, students are going to, the percentage is going to be very high for online courses. This is not that they are doing one MBA course online, but in MBA course, this figure is about that they are taking one mock subject, one mock credit or something like that. But there is another problem here in the online courses, is that these courses, there is attrition rate. Attrition rate means dropout rate is ranges from normally 20% in each course and up to 50% or 60%. So that is a problem in these courses, that these online courses, that the dropout rate or attrition rate is very high. So these are challenging times for everybody in the health sector, also in personal lives, also and psychologically, also the people, and of course, education to hai ya, like this. Uh, uh, in this crisis, health sector is going to be, there is more investment is going to be done in the health sector, of course. But I think in every society there should be a system where three things should be free or nearly free, and equal opportunity should be given to everybody to get these three things. Everybody, apart, not based on their income, paying capacity. Education should be given to everybody. Everybody should have equal opportunity. So it should be basically free. Justice should be free, and health should be free. Now, take gives you one example of BRTS buses, which are run in bus rapid transport system in Amritsar. So for some time they made it free. People said कि ये तो नहीं चलता, बंद है, तो free करता है. How will they survive? My view was that even if they have made it free, so what? this is public money, and public uses this public transport freely. So what's the harm in it? फ्री जे यूज कर भी लोगे टैक्सेस गवर्नमेंट कोई अपने कोई लोन तो नहीं लेते सारे फ्रॉम अदर कंट्रीज या सारा गवर्नमेंट इज नॉट जनरेटिंग एनीथिंग. People are generating all the money and paying taxes to the government, and government if makes these things free, like giving examples of BRTS buses. Similarly, education, justice, and health, government should pay some uh, uh, funds to the institutions where students get enrolled. Students should be free to enroll anywhere, and if the students enroll, the government should pay something or do something that students they get equal opportunity in medical education. What the scenario is that a lower middle class or even I think middle class person cannot take admission in MBBS. His child cannot take because very few number of seats are where 2-3 lakhs the admission the baki saran de vich it is more than 7 lakh 8 lakh, and in case of PG seats 30 lakh 40 lakh. How can a person from a limited resources family go into her? So we are in fact it should be talent based. Better talent should come, and government should take care of all the expenses, and the best people should be in the health sector at the help. Best people should be in the education sector. Best people should be in the justice. Only then the societies will prosper. Government has so many ways to take collect taxes. Petrol the government on tax ਲੈ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ, ਡੀਜ਼ਲ ਤੇ ਲੈ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਟੋਲ ਟੈਕਸ ਲਗਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਜੋ ਲਾਉਣਾ ਲਾ ਲਓ ਜਿੱਥੇ whatever we want to do. But similarly, another one of my personal views is that like private institution ਤੇ ਕਰ ਹੀ ਰਿਹਾ ਇਧਰੋਂ ਉਧਰੋਂ like they try to get resources ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਪੈਂਦੀਆਂ because how will you pay your staff? Even in government and other aided institutions, the government has decreased the percentage of aid to universities and colleges ਜਿਹੜੇ aided ਸੀਗੇ, but it should not be so. At least some universities or some institutions should be funded by the government, which should be an example. uh, uh, they should have fewer number of students, limited number of students, and they should be for research purposes and setting benchmarks for other institutions. And it should not be that say your government is getting money from say 5-6 government is getting money from 5-6 say engineering colleges running MBA. I'm taking example of one Amritsar. You are getting money from them. PTU को जाना PTU तो सरकार लाई जाती है. Then say एक यूनिवर्सिटी ਦੀ MBA ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਲਿਮਟਿਡ ਰੱਖੋ, 20-30 ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਰੱਖੋ, ਟੀਚਰਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਕੋਰਸ ਕਰਿਕੂਲਮ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਕਰਨ, ਰਿਸਰਚ ਪੇਪਰ ਲਿਖਣ, ਉਹ ਕਰਨ. ਐਂਡ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ 100 200 ਬੱਚਾ. We have now 1200 students in our department, and I will not go into details. That will not be right. But universities should not be made centers of profit. They should be made centers of education, research, and there are so many other activities which universities can only take, like some social responsibilities are also there. Say there are departments like Hindi, Punjabi, Sanskrit, music. Private institutions are not going to get into these institutions. These universities, like older kings, they were patrons of art and culture and these things. So the present government should also emulate those uh, historic things, where government should encourage and take art, culture, education, and subjects like Hindi, Punjabi, Sanskrit, music, okay, literature under their umbrella. And those ਹੁਣ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹੀ ਜਾਓ ਜੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਫਿਟ ਜਨਰੇਟ ਕਰੋ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇੰਨਾ ਸਟਾਫ ਹੈ, ਇੰਨੀ ਤਨਖਾਹ ਜਾਂਦੀ, ਤੇ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਵਾਲੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਆਈਲੈਟਸ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਨੂੰ ਤਿਆਰ ਆ, MA ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਤਿਆਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ. Okay. Now, there is another thing which I would like to add is that when the the smartphones came and just all these technological things are coming. Earlier, there was a saying that necessity is the mother of invention. Now, Again, I'll again repeat, necessity is mother of invention. Now, I say that invention is becoming the mother of necessity. ਹੁਣ ਮੋਬਾਈਲ ਫੋਨਸ ਦਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਕੋਈ ਸਰਵੇ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਦੀ ਹੋਇਆ, ਸਟੀਵ ਜੌਬਸ ਐਂਡ ਪੀਪਲ ਲਾਈਕ ਦੈਟ, ਬਟ there was always an inherent demand for good communication tool, but it was never, ਕੋਈ ਸਰਵੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਹੋਇਆ, ਕੋਈ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, people never knew ਕਿ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਹੈਗਾ, but those people who were innovative and they had a very vision, they had a very good vision, they brought a tool of communication. And there are so many other things also. There are so many other good things also which this communication tool can do. Entertainment भी हैगी आ, like you have Wikipedia, information भी हैगी आ, knowledge ਤੇ ਚਲੋ information ਤੋਂ ਬਣਨੀ ਹੋਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕੀ how what type of sites people are going to say see on TV. There are so many programs on TV, but if a person is watching always MTV, ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ entertain ਹੀ ਇਕੱਲਾ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੁਣ, there is another person, he is watching some news also, information ਲੈ ਰਿਹਾ, there are other programs related to knowledge in other channels. So ਉਹ depend ਕਰਦਾ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕੀ ਲੈ ਸਕਦਾ. So we cannot criticize these tools of communication, entertainment and information. These tools are in your hands, and it depends upon the person from where he has studied, in which school he has studied, in which family he is born, and what is ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੀ psychology based ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, and how will he deal with all this information to make it knowledge and to use it, or not use it, to utilize it for his betterment, for his family's betterment, for his immediate neighborhood, and for the society where he lives, and for the country where he lives. So it depends on him. So all these tools now which we are using, I will not go into details because Dr. Grover has told you everything, and Dr. Cortes has given an overview, full overview. But all these tools which we are having earlier, few days back, earlier Zoom ਤੇ ਮੀਟਿੰਗਾਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ, Skype ਤੇ ਹੋਈਆਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਸੀ, ਅੱਜ ਮੈਂ I have used this also. So these things, when we start using, we will be very comfortable with these. And now again, it will depend on how we use and create our subject, how we deal with the subject. Now the same person will give a topic lalo, product life cycle lalo, marketing, the same people will give different types of lectures. The variability will be very high. Some will go into details only to give that lecture, some people will give some examples, and some people will give details also, examples also, and make it interesting and entertaining for the student also. So it depends upon the teacher. So it is not that you cannot replace teacher. So I would like to say that, as Grover was saying, the classroom teaching cannot be replaced. So classroom teaching ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ? Classroom ਤੇ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ, classroom ਤੇ teacher ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ. And ਜੇ teacher virtual classroom ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ properly ਉਹਨੂੰ classroom ਬਣਾ ਲੈਂਦਾ, ਤੇ ਫਿਰ classroom teaching ਤੇ ਹੋ ਹੀ ਰਿਹਾ. This is classroom teaching. The classroom is because of the teacher. So it doesn't matter much that if you are teaching in class or you are teaching like this in a virtual classroom. It will all be going to depend on the capabilities and other things of the teacher. If he makes the lecture interesting, students will not leave his lecture. If you are in the classroom physically also, students are looking at you but thinking about something else, because you are just giving them some lecture which they are not interested, because they think that ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਤਾਬਾਂ ਚੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਹੀ ਲੈਣੀਆਂ. So if you are going beyond books, teaching them something which is in the books, and also which is not in the books which they are reading, but which you have read over a period of time, and you bring all these things together and give some interesting talk and take them to side roads also, कि इत्थे आ होया, and then you again bring them back to the main topic and make it interesting also. The students will, while sitting in the class also, they will not digress, they will be interested in your lecture. And similarly, in this type of virtual classroom also, students, if they know that this lecture is going to be delivered like this, they will not unmute themselves, They will not switch off their video, and they will be attending the lecture fully. So we can make this again, unmute the video conferencing ਬੰਦ ਕਰਨੀ नहीं करनी, but वो फिर screen ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ तो they will not be listening to. So basically it all depends on the teacher and ਜਿੱਥੇ teacher ਆ ਉੱਥੇ classroom ਆ. So it is not a big challenge if the teacher is good, and I hope I have made some points which will start a chain of thinking, and I again thank the principal madam and the Anand College for giving me this opportunity. Before saying thank you, I would like to take any questions, please. Hello. This is a question which has come up, that even network problem also prevailed in rural areas, so no access to e-learning. I had just today's newspaper, either it's Indian Express or Hindustan Times, that internet access has the percentage of internet access is more in rural areas as of today than urban areas. ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਪੜਿਆ, ਨਿਊਜ਼ਪੇਪਰ ਚ ਪੜਿਆ, ਨੈਟ ਤੋਂ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਹੀ ਜਾਣਾ. Any other question, please? This is a problem that people don't have. Many people, not all, they don't take online classes, so that's the main problem. Again, I will go to the government side. This is the responsibility of the government. If the government should give phones to, or subsidize phones or whatever they want to do, they are spending so much on so many things. Recently, I was reading that ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਬੈਂਕ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਚੇਅਰਮੈਨ ਹੈ, ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੌਣ ਹੈ, he 68 ਲੱਖ ਦੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਕਾਰ ਲੈ ਲਈ ਹੈ. So these things should be stopped. 70 ਲੱਖ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਲੈ ਲੈਂਦੇ. So those things should be stopped, and this is not a big deal. Very reasonable rates the government ਕਿਸੇ ਕੰਪਨੀਜ਼ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਕੇ smartphones with basic functions ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅੱਜ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, very reasonable rates ਤੇ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਿਡਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ, ਲੋਨ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਦੇ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ, EMI ਤੇ ਦੇ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. ਬਟ ਦੈਟ ਡਿਪੈਂਡਸ ਔਨ, ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਇਹ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਆ, ਇਹਦੇ ਚ ਜੇ ਇਫ ਯੂ ਵਾਂਟ ਟੂ ਡੂ ਇਟ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਐਟਲੀਸਟ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਸਕੂਲਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਆ 7ਵੀਂ 8ਵੀਂ 9ਵੀਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਐਂਡ ਦੇਰ ਇਜ਼ ਅਨਦਰ ਆਲਟਰਨੇਟਿਵ ਆਲਸੋ, ਟੀਚਰਸ ਕੈਨ ਮੇਕ ਅਸਾਈਨਮੈਂਟਸ ਐਂਡ ਦੋਸ ਕੈਨ ਬੀ ਡਿਲੀਵਰਡ. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਕੋਲ ਫੋਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਦੇ ਕੈਨ ਬੀ ਗਿਵਨ ਐਟ ਦੇਅਰ ਹੋਮਸ. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੰਦੇ, they can go to the children, ਉਸ ਕਲਾਸ ਦੇ 20-30 ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਦੇ ਆਵੇ, ਹਫਤੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹੇ ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਸਕੂਲੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਾ ਦਿਓ ਅਸਾਈਨਮੈਂਟ, ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਅਸਾਈਨਮੈਂਟ. ਜਾਂ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਲੇਬਰਸ ਦੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਗਰੁੱਪਸ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ. ਚਲੋ ਦੈਟ ਇਜ਼ ਨਾਟ ਆਰ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਟੁਡੇ. ਐਨੀ ਅਦਰ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਪਲੀਜ਼? ਵਾਟ ਨੋ ਟੈਸਟ ਪਲੀਜ਼? ਟੈਸਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਗੇ? ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਟੈਸਟ? ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਗਿਵ ਓਪਨ ਬੁੱਕ ਟੈਸਟ ਟੂ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ. You can ask them questions like, for example, we have a topic like product life cycle. I will ask, what are the different stages of product life cycle? वो बच्चा copy कर लूगा किताब चों. But if I say, write a note on product life cycle of, say, Ambassador car. Write a note on product life cycle of diesel engine. Write a note on product life cycle of radio. So that for that the children cannot go into the books. He will have to understand the topic and he will have to write it himself. And that assignment can be sent by scanning or sent on email, or that is a test. Then that is a better way of testing than memorize. Memorize क्यों कराना? ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮੈਮਰੀ ਚ ਕਿਉਂ ਪਾਉਣੀ ਆ ਇਟ ਸ਼ੁੱਡ ਨੋ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਦ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਐਂਡ ਇਟ ਸ਼ੁੱਡ ਨੋ ਵੇਅਰ ਟੂ ਫਾਈਂਡ दैट टॉपिक you know there is one example that in Harvard University they allow you to take one sheet of paper ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਫਾਰਮੂਲੇ ਜੋ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਲਿਖ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਿਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਕ ਬੰਦਾ ਫਾਰਮੂਲੇ ਹੀ ਲਿਖੀ ਯਾਦ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਵਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਫਾਰਮੂਲਾ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਬਟ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਵਾ ਕਿ ਸਵਾਲ ਇਦਾਂ ਕੱਢਣਾ ਵਾ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਦਾ ਹਾਊ ਟੂ ਵੀ ਕੈਨ ਸੋਲਵ ਦਿਸ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਲਾਈਕ ਦਿਸ ਬਟ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਐਕਸ ਜਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਡਾਟ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਸੋ ਦੈਟ will restrain ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਘੋਟੇ ਮਾਰ rote learning that will we should stop rote learning open book system ਆ ਜਾਏ and things like that next question I think you want to write that both modes of teaching can be mutually inclusive. I think this is what you want to say, inclusive. Exclusive te hoga na ki these are totally different. We can, yes, we can use both the modes of teaching, and as the situation demands. At present situation is that we will be using this type of system more and that system less. But as the situation improves, we can again go back to the older system. But this system is going to remain. Now, universities and institutions and students and all of us have been introduced to this system. And because once you get introduced, then you can make a friendship, and after friendship, and then you have a relationship, and so that is sort of introduction we have made, and we are going to be friends with this type of system, and this relationship is going to last for a long time then. Any other question, please? Madam, the question is, how will the rural area students overcome the problems of e-learning sources in this COVID? Madam, rural students always had a problem. Earlier they also had a problem. There are some students, they have to cross rivulets. There are some students who have to walk for 5-7 kilometers. That is a problem that even we have not found solutions for those things. So we cannot say that we can, like in Punjab, there is more road connectivity. People are more, and in other states also, in South also. But in some states which are a little disadvantaged, there this problem is very much there. No problem, no doubt about it. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਰਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਯਾਦ ਆ ਗਈ ਕਿ one of our professors went to Russia, and one of his students failed totally in the class, and that student also got a BSc ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਕਲਾਸ ਸੀਗੀ ਸਾਇੰਸ ਦੀ. He was given a BA degree, arts ਦੀ degree ਦੇਤੀ. ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ how come he is getting a degree? The university had decided that no, we gave a degree because ਇੰਨੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਠੰਡ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਮਾਈਨਸ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਵਾ ਕਲਾਸਾਂ 'ਚ ਬੈਠਿਆ ਤੇ ਆਇਆ ਉਹ ਟੈਸਟ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ BA ਦੀ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇ ਹੀ ਦੇਣੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਹੈਡ ਡਨ ਸਮ ਐਫਰਟ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵਲੀ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਦੇ ਰਹੀ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਆਲਸੋ ਫੈਕਟ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਰਸ਼ੀਆ 'ਚ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਦੇ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਹੀ ਟੋਲਡ ਮੀ ਦਿਸ 20 years ago. Poor connection. This is not our subject. We cannot say anything about it. कि poor connection है the problem है. ये problem ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ poor connection ਹੋਵੇ ਜਾਂ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਇਹ these problems are beyond our ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ teachers ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ control 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ. This is a subject matter of government administration. ਜਾਂ maybe ਕਹ ਲਓ college ਵੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਵਾ generator ਵਗੈਰਾ ਲਗਾ ਕੇ ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇਨਵਰਟਰ ਤੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਫੋਨ ਚਾਰਜ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਊਗਾ ਨਾ. Next. ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਹੀ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਸ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਆ ਈਵਨ ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਆਈ ਸੇ ਦੈਟ ਕਲਾਸਰੂਮ 'ਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਚੌਕ ਨਾਲ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਦਾ ਵਾ ਦੈਟ ਇਜ਼ ਬੈਟਰ ਦੈਨ ਯੂਜ਼ਿੰਗ ਦੈਟ ਕੈਮਰਾ ਐਂਡ ਸਮਾਰਟ ਕਲਾਸ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਟੀਚਰ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਈਜ਼ੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਟੀਚਰ ਸਲਾਈਡਾਂ ਲਾਈ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਬੱਚੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਲਾਈਡਾਂ ਵੇਖੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਟੀਚਰ ਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਂਦਾ 2-4 ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਅਗਲੀ ਸਲਾਈਡ ਕਰਤੀ ਉਹ ਦੈਟ ਹੈਜ਼ ਮੇਡ ਥਿੰਗਸ ਈਜ਼ੀਅਰ ਫॉर ਅ ਟੀਚਰ ਸੋ ਫਿਜ਼ੀਕਲੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੜਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਟੀਚਿੰਗ ਸਮਬਡੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਾਗੇ ਬਿਠਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਵਾਲ ਕਰਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਇੱਕ ਬੱਚਾ ਦੋ ਬੱਚਾ ਬੈਠਾ, ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਬੈਟਰ ਆ। ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਬਟ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਇਸ ਸਟੇਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਬੈਟਰ ਤੇ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੈਟਰ। ਇਸ ਸਟੇਜ ਦੇ ਤੇ ਕੰਡੀਸ਼ਨਸ ਦੇ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ what we have to use, whichever thing which we can use, so we should use that thing. ਬੈਟਰ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੈਟਰ ਵਾਲੀ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਗੱਲ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ। ਵੀ ਕੈਨੋਟ ਗੋ ਟੂ ਦ ਕਲਾਸਰੂਮ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹੀ ਜਾਈਏ ਉਹ ਬੈਟਰ ਹੈ ਬਟ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ। ਵੀ ਕਹੀ ਜਾਈਏ ਕਿ ਸੇ ਆਈ ਸੇ ਦੈਟ ਨਿਊਜ਼ੀਲੈਂਡ ਇਜ਼ ਵੈਰੀ ਗੁੱਡ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਕੰਟਰੀਜ਼ ਵੈਰੀ ਗੁੱਡ, ਪਰ ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀਜ਼ਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕੀ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਉਹਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਇੰਡੀਆ 'ਚ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਊ ਨਾ ਜੋ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਊ। What ratio should be given to physical and virtual learning after the COVID is over? COVID over ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਕਦੋਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਦੱਸੋ ਜਵਾਬ। ਹਾਂਜੀ ਸਰ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਵਾਬ ਦਿਓ ਕਿ ਕੋਵਿਡ ਖਤਮ ਕਦੋਂ ਹੋਣਾ। ਚਲੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਅਸਿਊਮ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਰੱਬ ਕਰੇ 6 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਜਾਂ ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ 2 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਤੇ ਰੇਸ਼ੋ ਕੀ ਦੇਣੀ ਆ, ਇਹ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਵਾ ਹੁਣ ਮੇਰੀ ਕਲਾਸ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਆ। ਸੇ ਆਈ ਐਮ ਟੀਚਿੰਗ I'm teaching bachelor's in tourism and travel management. I'm teaching MBA 5-year course. I'm teaching MBA 2 year ਜਿਹੜੇ post graduate ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ। Now it will depend upon the age of the students. ਇੱਕ ਬੱਚਾ +2 ਕਰਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਵਾ, MBA 5 year ਚ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਫਿਜ਼ੀਕਲੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪੜਾਉਣਾ ਪਊਗਾ। ਹੁਣ MBA 2 year ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਰਚੁਅਲ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਹੁਣ ਟੂਰਿਜ਼ਮ ਐਂਡ ਟਰੈਵਲ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਰਚੁਅਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਈਟਸ ਦਿਖਾਓ, ਆਹ ਕਰੋ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਭੇਜੋ ਵੀ, ਨਾਲੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੈਸੇ ਵੀ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਿੰਗ ਲਈ ਭੇਜੋ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਲਾਸਰੂਮ ਟੀਚਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਐਕਸਪੋਜ਼ਰ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ, ਚਾਹੇ ਵਰਚੁਅਲੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਚਾਹੇ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੋਵੇ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ। This always happen that whenever we take an exam, individual differences exist karta hai. Some people they get a grade, some get A+, some get D, some get F. ਉਹ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਉਹ ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਵੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਮੈਡਮ।